computer. Yes, oops, yes. Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to our Zoom Q&A. This is where you get to ask all of those burning questions that you have and hopefully get them answered. And if we can't answer them here, then we will find the answers out for you. A couple of things. Anybody, is there anyone that's new tonight? Brand new, brand spanking new. You've never been on a Zoom Q&A before with us. Put your name in the chat and say me. Nobody's new. Wow. All right. Maybe they just haven't done it yet. We still have people. I see people are still joining, so that's awesome. So we'll just do a couple of housekeeping things. There is a training this Saturday in St. Augustine from 10 to 12. Our goal is to meet in front of the Castillo de San Marco. There's a grassy area there, and you should see dogs with vests. That would be us. And there's supposed to be parking right across the street from there. So I think it'll be okay. I think it might be cold enough. People won't be out. Just us, maybe. Now, if it's pouring rain there, we may cancel, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I've sent my message upstairs and said, just hold off until after 1 o'clock on Saturday. Because I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to St. Augustine in quite a while. So I'm very excited. Oh, Joni Cornell said me, but Joni, you're not new. You're just new to Zoom Q&As. So we welcome you. We're glad you're here. So yeah, so Saturday, 10 to 12 in St. Augustine. Our goal is just to get some exposure, get a little bit of training in, and see where some of our dogs are at. If you can make it, great. I know some of you are in places that you cannot. That's perfectly understandable. We had promised the Jacksonville people that we would do a training a little bit closer to them. So that's what we're doing. So that will be this Saturday.
Hey, Wendy, I think I've got the map to show. I can show people.
Okay. I think I have to give you host or something, don't I? I don't know. Just, do you want to try to share your screen?
I can. Let me get there again. I've got the wheel of names and it's so confusing.
Oh,
Here
wait,
we go.
I'll make you co-host.
Okay, hang on. Share. I've got share screen.
Okay.
Wendy, it's Janet.
Hello.
Hi. Just want to tell people, if the weather turns out to be really bad, to check their email early in the morning.
Yes.
We'll put it on the Facebook page and email in case, I was hearing the news tonight, they were talking rain. But we won't, it's only Tuesday, so we don't know.
That's right. And I have sent a personal message to the man upstairs, Janet. So.
All right, you go, girl.
That has worked before. So.
All right, well, good. But just in case, just have people check their emails.
Yes. We'll put it out in your email. We'll put it on the friends page. So yeah. Plus, I'm supposed to be camping in St. Augustine this weekend. Tent camping. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Okay, if you can see this, it got cut off somehow, but this is the public parking area. The Castillo's over here on the right, and the Huguenot Cemetery is a grassy area here that's got trees, and over just across the street is the area where we're hoping to meet, weather permitting.
Yes. If it's just overcast and not raining, we'll still go ahead and meet. Like, it has to be like downpouring, pretty much. At least in my book, it has to be.
Yeah.
Dogs won't melt, and we won't melt either. But so
it'd be really nice to see people's faces that we're just seeing their names. So anybody that's brave enough to turn on their cameras.
Come on, people, turn your cameras on. Get your dog up there with you. I have my bear. My dogs are on the floor. Hey, Abbott. Abbott, you want to say hello?
Bissell.
There we go. Here. There's Abbott.
There's Abbott.
Oh, you can't have a bear. Okay, so, training,
Okay.
if you did not get your newsletter, if
I
you
heard-
would email the office at support@nhsdi.org. I'll put that in the chat so that the person knows if you did not, because January's newsletter did go out.
And under.
And there you go. Email and let somebody know. Otherwise, you should have received the newsletter, which gives you the next, I believe, January, February, and March training dates. Yes, Laura?
Yes.
So we went back to doing a newsletter. I think it'll be helpful. There's some good training tips in there. So check that out. And if you did not get it, please email that email and let them know that you've not received it.
Okay.
Something in regards to care of your dog, if your dog is vomiting or not eating and they're doing it like over and over again, just once is probably okay, maybe even twice, but if they're doing it a lot, please reach out to the office immediately. Don't even call your vet first, call New Horizons first and let them know what's going on, because they may have an avenue that you can take that you or your vet doesn't know about. So please reach out to the office first, then you can call your vet, but just that's important. Sometimes dogs just throw up things just because they've gotten something that they shouldn't have gotten a hold of and they just throw it up.
If the office doesn't answer, call the emergency number listed on the.
Yes, so when you get the voicemail, don't hang up, listen to the voicemail. It'll give you an emergency number, call the emergency number. So please, if you have any concerns about your dog, please be sure, especially health related, call the office and you will be directed on what to do. And please make sure that you are crating your dogs nightly. If your dog is older, like they're out of prison, you're pretty sure they're well behaved, you can give them a night out and a night in just to see if they can behave themselves, but be pretty sure that your dog is going to behave. Like they're pretty much just going to lay on the floor and sleep. If you're not 100% sure, don't try it. Just continue to crate them. We don't want them to get used to not being crated. So please be sure that that's something you're doing on a regular basis. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that, but crating is super important. Our dogs get crated when they are transported back and forth. And so it's real important that we are crating them and that they're not becoming accustomed to not being crated, because that can be very scary for our dogs. So if you're not crating them and then suddenly they come back to New Horizons and New Horizons says, oh, we're going to put you in a crate, it literally freaks a dog out. I've seen it. It's not pretty. I don't like it. It happened to me. It was awful. And I learned my lesson. So just be sure that they're getting crated.
So you don't care if it's at night, just so they're regularly crated, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we're good.
You should be able to go into a crate and not have a problem.
Okay, well, he goes into crates whenever we go to dog shows, so that's perfect. He gets lots of practice.
Good. Good. That's what we want to hear. All right, so questions that you would like to know, things that you're curious about, something you thought in the newsletter that you didn't understand. I apologize to anybody who was confused in regards to the Zoom meeting you thought I was last night. I can guarantee you we will never have a Zoom meeting on Sunday night. So just know that for future, that will not happen.
Wendy, last night was Monday.
Oh, well, then the night before, I don't know, whatever the last couple nights were, whatever it was, we won't have it. There never will be a Zoom meeting on Sunday night. And probably not on Monday. They're normally Tuesdays or Thursdays. And we try to do that so it's not at the beginning of the week and it's not at the very end of the week. They're kind of in between. Yes, so, right. Okay, questions. You have the floor, please.
Hi, Wendy. It's Kate with Valdosta.
Hi.
Hi. I had a quick question. He's excellent with commands. Getting used to the public. I don't know if you know his backstory, but he was in prison from when he was a baby. So this public exposure is really, really good. And he's coming a long way, even in the 6-7 weeks we've had him. When we are at, say, the cash register at Publix, and I need to put him in a sit, He not only wants to go all the way down, he wants to do a full out sploot. And it's great because he's very controlled, and he doesn't move, but at the same time, if people need to get around him, he's taking up a lot of space. How do I get him to really hold a sit?
So are you talking about when you're in line, like you're waiting in line, or is it?
When I'm waiting in line, I'm actually fine with him in a down, and even if he sploots, but really it's just when we're at the end of, where the baggers are, and I'm putting my chip card in and he's just splooting.
I normally will put, because my dogs do that too sometimes, I will try to put them between me and where I'm putting my card in. So I may step back a little bit and I force them to go in front of me. So that way,
Okay.
if they wanna splay out, it's in front of me. It's not
Okay.
around, it's not on this side of me or this side, it's literally in front of me. And I just make
Okay.
sure that that's what I do. Now, if somebody else has something that they do that works great. I know Bissell he immediately will default to going all the way down, which is what we want them to do. But I make my dogs come immediately in front of me. As soon as I start messing with the card thing, they have to come in front. And that way, if they do, then they're not going past my body. They kind of just
Okay.
go into my feet.
Okay.
So,
And you're fine
if
if they don't sit, you're fine with that.
I'm fine with that. I mean,
Okay.
It's hard for them on the tile, they slip. And they really have to be able to maintain a sit. It's hard muscle wise. They really have to concentrate. And it's much easier just to slide into a down.
Yeah.
Because their bodies are, if you watch their legs, it's just they're kind of going out. And
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Kate, can I
Yeah.
get a picture? Can you send us a copy of that picture of Valdosta with the reindeer ears?
Sure.
And the other one
Sure.
that I see on here with Madeline and Bunker, that's really cute. Any
Sure.
cute pictures you guys get. One of the, I've asked a couple people that are good at social media to help us get some new stories out on our Facebook page. If any of you guys are interested in doing social media, we could use some help doing that. So if you got stories, if you've got encounters that went on, good things, Sue, Jeanette, Kathy Barber, and Ayla, our new, and Wendy are editors for on our Facebook page. And if anybody else wants to help, please let me know. But we'd like to, stories and fun things and things that have gone on, we'd be glad to have.
Janet, did you just recently add me again?
Well, I somehow
Me?
formalized it in.
Okay.
uh,
I thought, I need to call her about this.
Sorry.
I was just, they had new pages set up for business Facebook stuff, so.
That's okay with me.
I got questions.
Yeah, Valerie, you would be really good at that.
I have
Hey,
questions.
oh, okay, go ahead. I was gonna ask one too.
I know, I've been trying to get this question, two questions answered. So Beach started lifting his leg and I was gonna get him fixed. He has one testicle that didn't drop and all that. Well, since I broke my leg and it's hard for me to get him transported, I wanted to get Beach and Gumbo fixed at the same time, thinking then it'll save me.
Yeah, that's
trip.
fine.
And so I rescheduled tomorrow's to February 1st because I wanted to make sure, because Gumbo's was born October. So I wanted to make sure he was like the 15th.
Yeah, I talked to Ellen about that I think Ellen's on here somewhere. But yeah, that's fine.
So I'm gonna, I like I said, I canceled tomorrow because I don't have the way to get the dogs there. But February 1st, I'll get them there. I'll get them both fixed. But then I had the other question about Gumbo, and he's happy and all, but his tail, he always tucks his tail like a lot. And I mean, even from the beginning, he was more, shy and reserved than like Beach, even though Beach was in there for just as long in prison. Beach comes out, he's just happy-go-lucky. But in the beginning, Gumbo was like afraid to load and afraid of a couple of things. So he, like I know Laura said Donazo Denozo, how do you say it?
Knows
Is
that.
also does that, but I just didn't know whether I should, like when he wags it, it's still low. You know what I mean?
He
Mhm.
just may have a lower tail set, first of
Okay,
all.
because I just want to make sure nothing was wrong, because Beaches goes up nice and high, and I mean, he doesn't appear to be in pain or anything, but
I wouldn't
Um,
worry about it. I think it's just the way
okay.
his tail lays.
Yeah.
all right. That's all. Those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Yep.
And different dogs have different personalities. Some of them are out there, exuberant, tail flags, and some of them are a little more reserved and a little closer to the vest. Just like people, they have their own personality. It's good that you noted it,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't worry about it, Faith.
Mhm.
Thank
I
you.
have a question as it relates to tail wagging. Okay, so, so if I have Simon out, like at a restaurant, and he's big, so he can't really fit under a lot of tables, so he's got to be out, kind of at my feet. If someone walks by, that tail's going, even if he stays down. And I know in the manual it says, to be invisible and all that, and it kind of brings on attention from people because they see him, what do you, I mean, is that okay? I mean,
Tuck him in
I
right
don't know
away.
how, I'm sorry.
And tuck him in so that his tail's inside.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, his butt up against me.
even
Okay.
despite their size, they can fit into small spaces. They
Okay.
can. So you don't want to force them in, but you really want to encourage them to be, if you can, like, so for recently, my husband and I ate at a Chick-fil-A, and there was a table literally was this big. It was against the wall, and there wasn't a whole lot of room, but it was so packed. I didn't want Thanos to be in the way. And so I moved the chair away from the wall. We happened to be sitting next to a wall. I moved the chair a little bit away from the wall, and I had Thanos sit down at my feet, and we were at a high top table. It was super small. And I just had him lay down at my feet. And once he got comfortable, he was fine, but he was under the table.
Okay.
And so I think you just have to work it with the dog. Don't just let them plop down. You have to
Okay.
kind of direct them where they need to go.
Okay.
And if his tail is always out, then try to work it so his tail is in.
Yeah, okay.
You might be able to back him in to the table so that his,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
And
Okay.
it's okay that he wags it when he sees people. Like, they're happy dogs.
I know when he's laying so nice, and then the tail, but then people are like, oh, and I'm like, don't do that, like.
Right. Don't talk to my dog. Yes. Yes. So yeah, if you can get him in a position where he's curled up a little bit more or he's backed
Okay.
in. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Just
Thanks.
work on it. You might even want to try working on that at home first.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's okay. This goes out to everybody. It's okay for things that you're not sure about it out in public to try them at home and see. So for instance, it's okay if you eat at your dinner table. Now, right now, I'm personally not always eating at my dinner table. But when I do, I have the dog sit underneath right at my feet. And so that just, whatever they're going to have to do out, it's okay to practice it at home. If you want them sitting at your feet and you're watching TV at home, leash them and have them come and sit by your feet instead of just splayed out wherever. Because normally, wherever we go, we want those dogs that the default is
Right
at
here.
our feet, or laying under our feet or somewhere near us. That's where we want them. So it's okay to practice at home. It's okay to leash them in the house if you feel like that's going
Right
to help
here.
you and help them when you go out in public.
Stand down. Thank you.
Wow, somebody has an associate's in social media development. Oh no, associates in communication. Ooh, Amanda. Amanda, who do you have?
So I have Armstrong, and I actually do have a question. He is about 4.5 months old. And he obviously still sleeps in a crate. But at night, I put him to bed. He has no problem going in the kennel, which is wonderful. But I'll wake up in the morning and he's out of the kennel. So he's figuring out how to move the latches on the kennel in order to get out. Is it okay to put some sort of carabiner on there so he can't?
Yeah.
It is. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was cruel
No,
or
no, he's just figured it out. Now he's like, haha, I'm a little smarter than you. So no, now
Yeah.
you're, haha, I'm a little smarter than you and carabiner it. Or I was gonna say zip tie, but carabiner's a good idea.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Little stinker. So Thanos did do that to me one night, and he hasn't figured it out since, but he did it one night. I'm like, how did you do that? So yes, it does happen. Armstrong, what litter is that?
It was oh my
The
goodness.
space litter.
Space.
Space.
Oh, of course. I wondered. Very interesting. Armstrong, so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. Other questions? Oh, Liz and Splash also says marketing communications in my background. Where have you guys all been? All right.
Well,
I will reach out to you guys.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks.
So I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't do Zoom very often, so bear with me, please. I've had Latte for just 3 weeks. She's not quite 4 months old yet, but we're doing well. But I have a question about our cat who hangs out by the front door. And every time that's the door we go out to let Latte do her business. And the cat is always there. And the cat wants to be friends with Latte, and Latte's very distracted by him. So they kind of want to get together. I don't know how much interaction I should let them have, and I know Latte's not supposed to be chasing cats and, although she's obviously leashed, but what's the best way to handle it? The cat is normally an outside cat, but like tonight it's cold. He's going to be inside. Since it's chilly, I'll let him, he'll probably just sleep in the laundry room. But so what do I do about sort of
Friends?
keeping,
Can't they be friends?
they can be friends, but I don't know, because because the cat's an outdoor cat. If Latte gets a little too frisky with him, he'll run off, and then Latte wants to follow and chase him. So I don't know about the chasing.
Gotcha. Well, as a puppy right now, yes, I'm sure that she does. Latte's a she, correct? Yes, she's a breeder.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't see why they can't be friends in the house.
Well,
you
he's
go
not in the house
outside-
very often. They're mostly friends outside.
Okay, is she fenced in? The dog?
I'm sorry?
Is she fenced in? Like when she chases the cat, if she chases a cat, is she fenced in? Like she can't go anywhere.
She's not fenced in, but when I take her out to do her business, she's leashed. But there's not a fence around the whole perimeter of the property. No, like in the front yard. And we go out the front door to do her business. There's no fence across the front of the house.
But you have,
So,
so they're friends inside and you just tell her to leave it when they're outside. I mean, if the cat's an outside cat, it's okay. to
Yeah.
have friends
It's
inside.
okay for them to be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they can
okay.
play, there's cats that'll play with the dogs.
Mhm.
well, the cat wants to groom her and,
That's all right.
and do all these things, and she's curious and wants to play, but then,
It'll get her used to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
And
fine.
if she gets too friendly with the cat will let them know.
Yep.
And it might take one swat on the nose and the dog will go, oh, okay, those are different than, the cat rules are different than dog rules.
Right, she's been swatted a couple times already, but like if we go out for a walk, the cat follows us. And it's very distracting because I can't work on any kind of leash training when she's worried about the cat that's following us down the road.
Can you leave the cat inside? Like when you want to work with her, can you leave the cat inside?
Well, he's sneaky because if I look for him, I can't find him. But then once I start walking, there he is. He shows up. So I'd have to turn around and go back, and put him in the house. But I could try to be a little more aware of where he is, try to find him before we go out. And
Just
Put
tell
him-
her to leave it when you're out. It'll teach her distractions.
tell her what,
To leave it.
yeah, yeah,
It'll help her learn to not chase a cat when she's outside.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
take the distraction away. Use it to your advantage.
And take treats with you so that you're more interesting than the cat.
Yeah, we've been trying to do a lot of watch me and, you know, that kind of thing, just with being outdoors.
Good.
And she's doing pretty well. It's only been 3 weeks, so,
Yeah, give her time. The
okay,
cat will become not so interesting at some point.
okay,
And like Janet said, it's a good distraction. It's okay for her to have distractions and learn to avoid them.
okay. Okay, thanks.
So I see we have a few people who have cat things going on. Yeah, sometimes dogs and cats are good friends and sometimes they're not. So,
Yeah,
oh, it's that Amanda. I just figured out who you were, Amanda. So you have Armstrong? Cool. It took me a minute. I'm like, which Amanda is that? I think we have more than one. So
Yes, I do.
very nice. So you, okay, gotcha. All right. And the puppy thing is going well?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Good, good, good. Good to hear it. All right, what else? What else is out there? You're wondering. And any question is questions we want to answer. I'm looking at all.
I have a quick question. Actually, my daughter asked me to ask. She took Clyde to the movies with them one night when I was gone, and she said that there was another service dog there, and there weren't any problems with that dog. But when Clyde saw him, he just gave a really low, like, grrr, and she said no one else heard it. It was so quiet, and she, told him to leave it and redirect it, and he did. But just any suggestions? And the interesting thing is, like, he goes to dog shows with us, so he sees dogs all the time. But for some reason, it was a golden. I don't know if that makes a difference, but he's around other dogs all the time at our house. We have other dogs that come over occasionally, my mom and my sister. He goes to dog shows where there's like hundreds of dogs everywhere, but for some reason he gurred at the golden service dog.
Maybe he thought that dog didn't belong there.
Well, that's what I joked. And she said, well, she said it wasn't an obvious not service dog acting like a service dog. So, that's
So
what I asked.
he-
I'd like
it
to
sounds
the other
like
dog
she-
girl first.
Sounds like she handled it though.
Oh yeah, she handled it. Just wondered if there's any suggestions other than just being out and meeting another service dog.
Does he do that often?
No, my sister has one of your service dogs, but it's a black lab. Dog never growled at, has never growled at him, and they don't see each other often. And like I said, at dog shows, we go by Goldens and other dogs, and he never growls, never gurs or anything. So it was just very odd.
Is that the first time?
It might have just startled him being the only dog in a different
Maybe.
situation.
But no, he dealt with it well. It was just a very odd thing. It's like, why would he growl at the service dog when?
It just probably surprised him.
Yeah. Was that the first time at the movie theater?
Yes.
So it could have just been first time
Yeah.
there, see another dog, yeah.
Yeah, it was before the movie, so I don't think it had anything to do with that. But no,
Yeah.
she did great at the movies. He said he just slept the whole time. So
And it sounds like she handled it beautifully. Like, she nipped it in the bud. So
Sometimes they'll do a low GER just if they're unsure of something too. It's not an all out. It's more of like, oh, what is that? Just
right.
yeah, because he was like snarled and growled at from across the DMV by a not service dog, and he didn't even other than looking, he didn't even budge. So it's just
that's
weird.
great.
Good. That's awesome.
Conan has done that when he's surprised by another dog, like when we're at Publix and someone has their little Chihuahua that I don't see first because it's so flippin' small. And if it
Right.
surprises him, but if he sees a dog from far away, he's like, doesn't care at all. I think it's the surprise factor that doesn't always go well.
Yeah, and that's possible because, he doesn't usually see other dogs at the grocery store or places like that. So,
Mhm. Yep. And our dogs, just because if they saw another dog, they wouldn't be like, oh, that's another service. Like, they don't know. They just are
No.
surprised.
Yeah.
Surprise, yes.
I have a question. I'm driving at the moment, so I'm going to keep my camera off. I have Mecca. I've had her about a month now,
Okay.
and she is not a morning eater. I'm feeding her in the kennel to make it exciting and taking it away, but she never finishes. She probably only eats a half a cup in the morning and would rather eat like in a late morning. So I'm wondering, and she doesn't always finish her meal. So I'm wondering, at what point do you want me to go to 2 meals a day if she's not wanting to finish any of her meals, really, other than lunchtime? She loves lunchtime.
Is she a puppy? How old is she?
Yes. She was born September 28th. So she's about a little over 3.5 months.
Oh, Mecca.
But she's, Mecca. She Puzzle, and I think it starts with an A, Araya, or I think
Aria.
Aria, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so she's not eating. I mean, is she eating at some point during the day?
Oh yeah, she's just not a morning eater. She doesn't want to finish her breakfast. I feed her around 8 a.m., again around 2 p.m., and then again at 8 p.m. She's will pretty much always finish her lunch. Pretty much, not always, but most of her dinner, and I'm just doing 1 cup of food each time, but she never finishes breakfast. She's not interested in it. I wanted to make sure there were no
Don't
nothing
worry about
distracting
it.
her.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. She's weaning herself down into 2 meals a day. She doesn't need to stay on 3 at that point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, but I didn't want to take it upon myself to.
No, that's
change it.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Just, put her on 2 meals a day. She's weaning herself down.
That's what I thought. So I'm just, thank you for just confirming that. I was like, is it too soon to do that? Because that's what I was thinking.
No, it's fine.
No, as long as
Perfect.
she's eating
And
something, that's all that
Oh
matters.
yeah. And we just keep it still at 1 cup of food though at each feeding, correct?
Correct.
What,
Okay, yeah,
right now, you're gonna want to feed her as much as she wants to eat right now.
Right.
Until they're
So-
7, 8 months. If she wants a cup and a half at each of the meals, that's fine.
Okay.
Wow.
We've got a dog that's coming back in that's 4 or 5 months. She's eating 6 cups of food a day right now.
Oh boy.
And she's not heavy. I mean, she's just, her metabolism is just really, she's eating lots. That's what, Wendy, my mouth was like that today too. When I
Well,
heard
because I'm thinking of Thanos, who is 8 months, will be 8 months this month, and he probably could eat more. I feel like he's small. Don't you feel like he's small, Laura? He's
Yep.
only 58 pounds, and I feel like he's thin for his age.
then give him more,
Yeah.
there's
and
gonna be
Mecca-
times when they're really hungry and they're just not, they're using up all those calories.
Right.
And Mecca looks good. She at 3 months was 32, 34 pounds. So looks healthy, looks great.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. and
So
that-
don't go so much by the actual cuppage when they're younger, but how they are feeling and how they're, if they're not skinny and if they're wanting more, give it to them. Because a lot of dogs, if you don't give them, they'll go find something else to eat. And it's normally something that's going to get stuck in their belly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
So then we have the flip side of that with our dogs that are too heavy. So
We have an issue with some of our dogs, especially in one of the prisons, coming out too heavy. And the girls in the women's prison that likes to overfeed.
Yeah. I mean, Bissell came out and he was a women's prison, correct, Laura, right? And he
Yeah.
looks good. He's a lab. But I have Abbott right now and he's too heavy. So yeah. So there's the flip side of that for our older dogs, of being careful that they're not being overfed.
Generally, you don't have to worry till they're 7, 8, 9, 10 months in that area. And then you've got to start monitoring because the majority of their size and their build is done by, 8, 9 months.
Okay, so
So-
general rule is though, we do a cup in the morning, a cup each time we feed them, and we feed them twice a day, correct?
And depends, that's an older, not a younger dog. A younger dog is going to need more
No,
than
I'm
that.
talking about the older dogs.
Yeah, but some of them are on a cup, you just gotta, that's why it's really helpful to weigh them every week or 2 weeks.
Yes.
So you can monitor where they're at and if they're going up or down.
Yeah.
Feel their ribs, do they have the indent in their waist? Can you easily feel the ribs without digging in? Learn how to tell a good weight on a dog.
Those diagrams on the monthly evals are really helpful. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and they show you the dents. If you can feel their backbone, if their backbone is prominent, they probably need some more food. If you're rubbing, like me, you rub your ribs, you go, you have ribs in there? Well, they're probably got a little bit, carrying a little extra. But those diagrams are really helpful. So if you're going, I'm not sure, or if you really don't know, take a picture and shoot it to Janet or to Wendy or to me, and we'll look at it and do the best we can from a distance.
You really need to feel, because there's been dogs I'm like, oh my God, that dog's really fat. And you feel them and it's all hair.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
So
That's my Quinny. She looks heavy, but she is steady at 70 pounds. Between 68 and 70, that's where she's saying, but she looks like she is chunky. And she's only, I think right now we've got her at 68 pounds. And she just has a ton of hair.
So if you're concerned about it, be sure that when we do an in-person training, get one of the folks that's there to say, give me a feel for this dog. This dog's in, this is what we're looking for. This is right. And let you feel to see what we're looking for.
You guys can do that as a class. Go around and feel everybody else's dogs. Get an idea.
Your dog is pudgy. Your dog is good.
Huh?
You're gonna body shame all the poor dogs.
No.
They're all gonna get self-confidence issues.
Yeah, be sure that you take them to Publix or your local vet to weigh them on a regular basis.
On that note, Laura, did you put out about us that I have access to the big bags of dog treats?
Haven't done anything about dog treats. No.
We've been ordering, I can get the From dog treats, which are 26-ounce bags that are like good sized bags of their Crunchio treats. And we can get them for, I think, $15. How much did we come up with, Laura? 15 or 16?
15 for the bag. And I'll go get my bag. I'll show you.
It's a big bag. They sell them for $25 a bag on Chewy. So we're able to get them for 15. So we're going to be bringing some of those to class. And if people want more, whenever we get a dog food order, I can order them.
Yes, and Laura, are we bringing?
It's a ginormous bag. There's my hand.
And it's a big, heavy bag. Yeah. So
It's
put it sideways. Yeah. There's lots of treats in there. They're little, which is nice. They're good for training. So just FYI, we've got those available.
Another question. How we're trying the lamb and lentil food for Beach because he was looking at the law so much. So I got another bag because I don't know if Melissa picked it up or she will tonight, Laura, but
I did.
Okay, cool. I have to pay. I will, on the PayPal. But anyway, I don't know if somebody was mentioning weaning off of it. So like if we decide we're having a hard time deciding if it was actually helping. And I think it is, it's just slow. Like he's licking his paws a little less. He's still licking some, but a little less. So at what point do you just keep him on that, or do you?
No, I mean, it can be a solution. Some dogs, chicken tends to be a hot food. Any of the poultries can be a hot food. And if a dog's going to be allergic to something, it can be a chicken based.
Or grain, right?
Yeah, some of the, the farm doesn't have a lot of the nasty grains. It doesn't, corn is the number one there.
Right.
And farm doesn't have corn in their foods. I'm 98%
I don't
sure.
think so either, yeah.
Yeah, they don't. So corn and chicken can be the hot stuff. We were trying some of the lamb and lentil. If it doesn't really seem to be working, I would switch back maybe and try the salmon. Or I would go back to the regular farm and try a bag and see if it
Well,
doesn't change.
I have it because we have gumbo, so I have the regular.
You could go back and if his stuff stays the same, then the food's not helping and it's environmental.
I know my little pug is on Apoquil, and I mean, it was like a miracle drug for her because her skin was torn up. I mean, Beach wasn't that bad, but he was itching a lot. I guess I'll just give him I'll give him the second bag, and see if he gets like completely better. Then I'll know it's something in the other food, right? I mean,
well, and it can be environmental. It can be grasses. It can be,
I know,
and some of the dogs will also grow out of it. They may start off as a puppy, it's pretty itchy. We're also in wintertime where we're having heat and it's drier air. I was out at the dog show the other day when the handler said, everybody's getting hot spots right now. So it can be the time of the year and they can grow out of some of the allergies. But Goldens in Florida equal allergies. We try really hard not to get that, to stay away from it in our breeding, but sometimes you just can't help it.
Well, I'll just continue with this food and then decide after we're at the end of that.
Yeah.
Probably try to go back to the other and see what a difference.
And give it see if it changes.
Okay.
I missed the first part, but Clyde licked his paws like in between his paw pads a lot for a while, and there was never anything to start it. He would just lick them, and then they would get red from licking them. And it actually seems to be worse after he gets a bath, which isn't often, unless he gets dirty. But we figured that out. We never changed his food, but he has stopped. So I don't know. We had some cortisone we put on it when it was really bad, and when I'd let him lick his paws, but after he'd lick them a few times and he'd start to go to town, I would actually have him stop and tell him to leave it. So I think some of his was just behavioral. There was nothing else to do. So lick my paws.
We were telling him constantly to leave it. And I mean, he just kept going, and that's when we put on the little booty,
Sometimes vinegar, some vinegar wipes or some squirts of vinegar, because vinegar will stop yeast, and that saliva is promoting yeast. So you can do a little bit of a vinegar solution, spritz and dry them off, but vinegar can help kill that yeast. And you could also use some of the Gold Bond powder too, which was medicated.
We've been using that and this other powder, and that did help some.
Okay.
Yeah, to dry it up, so.
I live by Gold Bond. Katie L had a question.
Hey, we have Ryder, so not to take it back to the food question. So same litter as Mecca, and he has the food motivation of a lab. So right now we've been at, cup in the morning, cup in the afternoon, and, training treats in the middle of the day, like nibble and stuff. He's at 31 pounds. He seems fine, but I know he will take as much food as we give him. Like he will eat all day, every day. So I know I'm talking about you. So how do I know where to call it besides watching his weight?
You mean where to stop feeding him? Well,
Yeah.
apparently you can give him as much as he wants.
That's what I mean. This boy will easily go 10 cups a day if I let him. I mean, he's
Well-
more lab than Golden in his food approach.
Oh, because he's hanging out with a lab.
Yeah, he's trying to keep up with Cairo.
So he's just what, 3 months, 4 months?
4 months.
So, I mean, apparently when they're that young, you get to feed them everything they want. So Thanos, when he comes back to me on Thursday, he's gonna be so happy. Because I'm just gonna feed him like a pig.
Just let him dive into the bag.
Yeah, I mean, if their belly blows up, then you've gone too far.
Okay. I mean, we use a puzzle bowl because he's definitely a fast eater.
Good, good.
But, okay.
It's genetic in a lab.
Well, it's surprising because he's a golden that eats everything. He lives life like a lab.
How much are you feeding? How old is he?
He's 4 months. Officially, he's at 2 cups, one in the morning, one in the evening, but we're heavy with.
You're gonna need to do
kibble.
more than 2 cups. That's not enough for that 4-month-old puppy.
Yeah, that's what, I would say he averages 3 cups a day with the training, but,
Then give him a little more. He's in a growth
Okay.
spurt.
okay.
When
He
I
will
first-
not argue that.
I was doing something else. I didn't hear when you first asked the question, but I've had dogs too that if they weren't getting enough as puppies, they go out and become poop eaters.
Oh.
If I have an adult dog that's a poop eater, does he need more food?
Yeah, then it may be a learned behavior.
Okay.
But I've had dogs that were if they were hungry, they'd go out and find something else, like poop.
He's very I think it's a territorial thing with Cairo because he's very specific as to whose poop he's trying to eat. I pick it up quickly, but he gets mad at me when I pick it up.
I don't know if it's only like your dog's food, but a long time ago, my dog Brew got into the habit of eating poop because I was giving him treats that I guess made his poop taste good. And I was told pineapple. If you put just like a little tiny spoon of canned pineapple in their food, they don't like the way that tastes coming out. And then they won't eat the poop. So maybe
There's a
that's
lot of different, they've talked about accent, they've talked about
yeah. I don't know. It works
pineapple,
for
they've
us.
talked. Well, at
And
least
then-
if it worked for you, good.
He stopped doing it, and then I stopped doing the pineapple. And he stopped eating it. So it was good.
Bosses our prime new partner, a new
Okay.
There was some noise there.
Yeah, there was. So there you go, Katie. Does that answer your question? Feed him more.
And he will not be upset about it.
No.
He says thank you.
Yes. So Thanos is who I said was 8 months. He's been getting about 1.5 cups in the morning and 1.5 cups at night, but I still feel like that's not enough. He's small in stature. He's got long legs though, so I'm thinking I think we're gonna up that.
Absolutely. That's normally about a maintenance dose for a full-grown one. It's around 3
I'm
cups.
always afraid to I've just seen so many of our dogs come back heavy that I always, and with a puppy, I guess it's different, but our older dogs, I'm like super careful.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
just, wanting to make sure they're maintaining where they need to be and not getting too heavy.
I've been adding some pumpkin and some rice to his kibble, particularly when he's been soft stooled. And I think that's adding a little bulk too. So maybe the cup, if we go to 2 cups morning and night, go to 4 instead of 3,
Yeah.
see how he does.
Yeah. And Thanos Plus seems to have a little sensitive tummy sometimes. So that's one of the reasons she's been giving him pumpkin and rice. Okay, other questions? Things you need to know. I think if I had another dog around, Mecca would eat more. Some dogs I think are grazers because they can be. So Janet, I do have this question. If we just have, this has never happened to me, but if I just had one dog.
You?
Right. Never.
You?
Could you allow them to graze?
No, it's not good because then you don't know if they're sick and not eating.
Okay.
And you're better off putting the food down for 10, 15 minutes. If they don't eat it, pick it up, throw it in the fridge, keep it for the next meal. If they don't eat it then wait, then just back off, feed them less. And eventually they'll know when the food's set down, it's time to eat. Otherwise they don't have an option.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And sometimes we find that our prison dogs, for those of you other prison dogs, sometimes they start out wanting to eat in their crate. apparently maybe that's what they've done in prison. And then as they get acclimate to your family, then they will come out and eat out of their crate. But a lot of times they like to start in it.
Well, and it's a great way for them to like the crate. Feeding them in the crate's a great way to keep them that they like the crate.
And it's been a good management tool for those of us that do have more than one dog to make sure that each dog is getting their own and not the other ones.
Yep.
If you've got them on different diets, different foods, feeding them in their crate is a good way to manage that as well.
And it keeps them from having a dog fight.
Yes.
That too.
Yes. Not experienced that with food actually, but I can see where that would.
You're lucky.
Yeah, and my dogs actually eat both on the, well, any dogs I've had, the older dogs, they eat literally about this far apart on the fireplace. Their bowls get set at each end of the fireplace and they have to sit and wait and then they get to eat. Thanos is the only one who wants to eat by the refrigerator because that's where he started at 8 weeks old. Funny, he will not move to the fireplace. He's like, no, I'm not going there.
So I have a question for people who have more than one dog. You see them back here, they love to wrestle all the time and they're good. If you tell them to knock it off, they'll knock it off. But that's, I mean, they only do it at home. It's not like they're doing it out in public. I take them out together all the time and they're fine together out. But is that okay in the house? Okay.
If you can handle it.
Yeah.
They love each other. They are besties. They
wear each other out. That's great. A tired puppy is a good puppy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it drives my husband a little crazy. So then I have to make them stop and I pull one over to me and we end it for a little bit, but then I let them play again. So yeah. Yeah. And it's right. It's true. It does. It wears them out. It's great. Yep. Okay, but I agree. It's good to keep her associating it with something positive. Yes. Yep. Yeah. If anybody's having trouble with their dog going in the crate, feeding them is a great idea. Opening the crate door, putting the food in, and letting them associate that with eating is a great thing. Helps them if they're having issues going in or going out. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question about the black dog collar. Kate sent that to me. I guess maybe I've had it a couple months because Simon was pulling really bad. So he's progressed. Like now when I walk in, he's good. And I've been able to switch him over to the regular collar on my walk and he's not pulling me. But like I took him for a walk this afternoon, but if he sees another dog, like, or another person that, you know, is like, hi, he'll pull me. So he's making progress because when we're regularly walking, there's, you know, a loop in the leash and all that. So I have yet to try to take him out in public to Target or Publix with the regular collar on, just because I'm afraid of his behavior. How do I know when I should do that? Or are some dogs just use that as a tool when he leaves me? Like, I just want to make sure I'm not doing something longer than I should as it relates to the black dog leash.
I would say, so you're saying with this, what I'm understanding is when you take him out in public, you're using the black dog.
Yeah, because someone on one of these said, don't take him out in that vest if he's being bad and like pulling you all over the place. So
Right.
I was just putting that on when I took him out because he behaves. Like he'll stay right near me. That definitely is like night and day when he has that on. So I have, since I got that leash or collar, whatever it's officially called, I have not taken him out in the regular collar because I'm still nervous in new places and people around. He's going to pull.
Switch it back and forth.
Okay.
Leave the black dog on, but hook the leash to the collar. Try that first, so that you're not actually putting pressure on the black dog. Just hook the collar and then keep it with you, and switch back and forth, put it on so that he doesn't know, and then slowly wean off of the black dog.
Okay. So
And
I'll have it. Okay.
If he's walking well with the leader, then you can just flip it down and see how he does. And if he maintains, he gets lots of puppy praise. Oh, good job. And if he's a knucklehead, you flip it right back up and say, okay, here we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, great, thanks.
yeah, because you do want to get him out without it,
That's all.
Yeah,
using it.
right. He has gotten better, like I said, but it's, like today, I was like, oh my gosh, I guess he's not ready to go out in public with this because he, and he's can pull he's strong. So, but that's a good idea with flipping it down too, or just having them both on. So I could always change course if he started misbehaving in public and putting that thing back.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, and also just consider too, that out in public, like in a grocery store or in Target or wherever, is a little bit different than walking in your neighborhood. Like that whole thing is different. I find some of our dogs, once you throw that vest on them and take them out, their demeanor completely changes. Not always, but very often. They just, they know they're working, they know they have a job to do. And so you might want to try it without it or with it down, whatever, for a little while first. You want to get him used to not having it on all the time.
Right. Well, when I first got him, he didn't have it.
Right.
But he was also adjusting to me. Like he definitely listens to me much better now than he did in the beginning, So that's a good point. Like, because it's been a while since I've just had the regular collar on him out.
Yeah.
With the vest on. So
yeah. Good question.
I've got the wheel of prizes. Do y'all want to see who's going to get the prize? And I'll pick it up from Janet this week and I'll bring it to St. Augustine. And if you're not in St. Augustine, I'll mail it. So hang on, here we go.
Wheel of prizes. Woo.
Wheel of prizes. Okay, can you see the wheel?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Dina's excited. Thank you. I appreciate it. You get poo bags. Oh, Melina.
Yeah, wow, we have a winner. Whoop,
Why would I need poop bags?
No, you don't now, but hey, you might again. You might again.
Yes. Thank you.
Actually, this prize isn't poo bags. Janet has something for us, and I think I'll get it picked up and we'll get it delivered either in the St. Augustine meeting or we'll get it mailed to you. Gotta come to the Q&As. You never know when there might be fun and prizes.
Definitely. It's this Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Are you doing it again, Laura?
Nope, just once.
Oh, just once. Oh,
Just once. You missed your chance this time, Wendy. You'll have to come another month.
I guess I'll have to come again. All right.
Are you guys setting up a location for lunch in St. Augustine?
No.
We had talked about it, yes.
But I don't think we're going to do one location, Janet. We'll see how many people, how crowded it is. It's asking a lot of any one establishment to take all of us.
Well, how many, can we have a show of hands who's all coming this weekend?
Or just put me in the chat.
Yeah, that'd work. And we can count noses.
Technology.
Yeah. 1, 2, maybe 3, 4,
I know
5.
some of our Jacksonville people aren't on this, so.
Right.
Oh, but some of our Jacksonville people are, because Laura's here and she and Biggie will be there. Yay!
Yeah. Good.
Weather permitting, yes. Weather
Yes.
permitting, yes.
That caveat goes, yes.
It looks like rain chances have gone down. That's what I was.
Good. Not a fan of driving 2 hours in the rain, but
I know.
I'll be there.
I hear you. Not a fan of camping in the rain. In a tent.
Not if it's going to be 40s at night either.
It's supposed to be cold. The high of 62 here on Saturday here.
I know. Shh. It's hard to get into Anastasia Park. It's hard to get in there.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, it looks like there's 30 something people here, and it looks like at least half of the folks are saying yes.
Okay.
We'll have a good crowd, and if we can decide it when we're there, look at weather, look what's going on. If you've got younger dogs, they may be done.
And they just go to Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Oh, there's too many good places in St. Augustine.
Right. But it's for our older dogs, it's really good exposure. It's a really good opportunity, and it's a lot of fun for us to get to visit a little bit too. So
yes,
I was just thinking Pizzali's. It's got an outdoor patio, a balcony area. That's really nice, and it's right there on George's.
Yeah, and maybe if we went on a little bit early.
Yeah,
you know?
If we called it at 11:30 instead of noon or something like that. Yeah. And again, we'll see what the crowds are looking like for that Saturday, because the Northerners will think it's lovely, but us Florida folks will be going, I want to sit inside someplace where there's a heater and socks and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, so just keep your fingers crossed, keep praying that the rain just waits until the afternoon of Saturday, or not at all. That would be even better.
I know we asked recently about people coming up with other ideas of different parts of Central Florida that maybe has something going on or of interest. Keep that in mind. There's no train, the Sunrail doesn't run on the weekend.
Nope, not unless there's a special event.
They're running practice runs from West Palm to Cocoa right now on the new rail that's going to go from. What are there? Over here by me over at New Smyrna, they have water taxis, which would maybe be a fun thing to do sometime up to Ponce Inlet.
Yep. We talked about doing the De Leon Springs, their boat too. One of their captains had said they'd be willing to do.
He's actually has had one of my dogs in the past. He had Wizard's Littermate. The guy out there, and he'd be glad to do it at a different time, whatever time you guys. And I have his number somewhere.
Cool. I think I do too.
Yeah, he loves to do the dogs and the people. It's a good tour.
So there's another Saturday before it gets hot.
Yes.
You can go make pancakes.
Yeah. Which is really a challenge with the dogs, because there's hot to deal with, and it's a small space, and yeah, it's one of those like level 2 things. We are going to be in Lake Mary for the February in-person training. We're going to be at the Lake Mary City Hall Park. The farmers market will be going on in the front part. We're going to meet on the City Hall side. It's off of Lakeview, and there's a little map again to show you where. The Chick-fil-A cow is going to be there. So if you haven't done large costumed creatures with your pups, this will be an opportunity to do that. And we can either 4th Street Grill afterwards or go to the Lake Mary Chick-fil-A and invade them with our dogs and thank them very much.
Well, I think we should support Chick-fil-A. Like, if
absolutely.
Cow,
Wendy, you do such a good job of that on a daily basis.
What, being a cow?
No, supporting Chick-fil-A.
I'd like to add in something for those that have little ones in training that haven't gone into many restaurants yet. My fiance owns Double Barrel Grill. It's inside of Volusia Top Gun. Well, I call him that, but he's actually my boyfriend. Anyways, very tolerant. So if you haven't brought up your pup into a restaurant yet, that'd be a good place to practice, where no one's going to give you a hard time if they're acting up. No one's going to ask you to leave. It'd be a nice place to be able to practice without having to worry about someone getting upset and asking you to leave.
Say the name again.
It's called Double Barrel Grill, and it's located inside of Volusia Top Gun. It's in Daytona Beach off of International Speedway.
Double Barrel Grill?
Yes. so
Right
I
across
went
the street from the flea market.
flea market. Yes.
It's,
So
it's a gun range, correct?
it is. And the restaurant is separate from that. So if you're concerned about the noise, you're not really going to hear that in the restaurant. But I've brought Mecca in there, and it's a good place for her to hear things, and she does really well. And the staff there's familiar with her; they know the roles. And it's been a nice place to be able to practice with her, going under the table, not having to worry about, them if she barks, no one's gonna kick them out, because they all know how what I'm doing there, and they don't care, and we make the rules anyway. So
Okay, great. You guys could, could maybe plan something at the flea market and then go there for lunch or something sometime.
Yes.
yeah.
Amanda's asking, are we able to do a fire department training again? Yes, Amanda, go ahead and plan that. I mean, we can do we just have to have a fire department that's willing to have us again. The one in Orange County was great.
And one of the stations really wanted us to come back and do an evening one. It would be another shift. And in the night, there's going to be all the lights. The flashing lights would have more of an impact than they did during the day.
Yeah. Anytime you have a suggestion for something or you want to try and plan something, go ahead and get details on it, because that's always helpful. Even if a bunch of us can't make it, even if a few people can, it's any outing, any exposure is really good for our dogs. So if you know someplace, oh, that would be a really good place, find out, and let us know, and
we can add those things to the new newsletter that Laura's doing, meetup times.
Yeah, agility course. Yes. Yeah, I have
Now
my-
Nikki's down in Miami, so we got to figure out what we need to do down in Miami.
I think we should go back down to West Palm, down to the facility again, and work them all or something down that way
Yes, please.
before it gets super hot.
Yes. Nicole says, yes, please.
That could maybe be April. The renovation should be done on the front building by then.
Yeah, wasn't it April last year, Laura? Was it April last year?
It was April or May.
Yeah. Amanda says she has a full agility course. Okay. Amanda, are you coming to February's training in Lake Mary? Hello?
I lost her.
No, she's there.
Sorry, I had a phone call come in. Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Can you
I was saying that I could
bring it
definitely
then?
bring it to a training that's close to me sometime soon.
Okay, well, if you wanted to come in February, we could take it. We could set up. I think we'll have lawn space.
Yeah, we should on that side.
While some puppies are meeting the cow, the others can. Yeah, and I can bring my tunnel.
Absolutely. I used it with Sansa and Levi, and it was so great with getting them just more confidence, especially with going through the tire and jumping over things. So
Oh,
awesome.
cool. Okay, good. All right. Anybody else?
Hey, I sent Kate an email with 2 ideas on locations. Do y'all want me to forward it to somebody else?
Janet.
Oh, you can send it to Laura and Wendy too. I have enough stuff coming to me right now, but yeah, please send that stuff to, you can send it to me too, but send it to Laura and Wendy.
I just put my.
They're more likely to remember.
All right. The main one is the city of Apopka took over Camp Weewa. So it's probably a good opportunity to partner.
One of the things we did many years ago is we used Camp Challenge and had a weekend camping. I've wanted to do that ever since, do that again. It was we had clients and puppy raisers, and we did a class on scrapbooking. We did a class on, I worked with parents and spouses of our clients. We did, we all got together for meals. It was a great time. I've kind of been trying to keep an eye out for a location. To do that again, we have to have enough accessibility for some of it. But I think we have a group that would enjoy doing something like that. If you guys know of any church camps or different camps or something that would work, we talked about maybe doing it even at Disney, but I'd rather have like a central kitchen that we can use to make, pancakes in the morning and have,
Is the challenge still available? I just went by.
It is, but it's pretty rough. I mean, it's hard, it's the group rooms that's got 10 beds to a room. There are some hotels fairly close to it there are better ones that are more hotel based. That have a little bit better accommodations. Camp Challenge is a little challenging.
Well, the Methodist Church camp is in Leesburg, and it has a variety of different kinds of facilities. So we might check and see what we could do there.
Check that. I know.
I think that was one of the places I looked into.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of our client. What's her name? The people that live in Tennessee now. Their daughter is an exec, works there. Libby McCullough's daughter or daughter-in-law works there.
Okay.
And I know there was some question about how many accessible rooms there were. She was checking into it, but yeah, that kind of a thing would be great.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Would you guys like to do something like that if we could plan a weekend? Where everybody get together. We did dog classes. We did dog games. It was a lot of fun.
I was there. I remember. I had Kanga.
Was it fun?
It was a blast. It was.
Yeah, we had a good time.
It was very fun.
I got Costco, I think, to donate all the food, and everybody cooked. And
yeah, let's see what we can do. That would be a fun summer thing when it's hot and we can just kind of hibernate in the air conditioning.
well, they had a pool there and people went swimming and
yeah, there was a community.
I think we did it in like September, October, because we had to do it after the camp season was over.
Yeah, I think we did it in the fall. We did it in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's find a good place to do it.
See what we can do. I gotta go. So.
Okay. Bye. Thank you, Laura. Okay. Anybody else? Last call.
Thanks, guys.
Very good. Okay. This weekend, if you could get to St. Augustine, we'd love to see you. If by some chance it does get canceled because of weather, check your Facebook, check your email. And thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for raising our dogs. You're doing a great job. Keep it up and go forth and do wonders.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.